friends. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for Science and Stories. We're going to get started with one of my favorites, science. So, you probably know that my sister Elsa built her own ice castle. Well, today we are going to be melting our own ice castles. For this experiment, you'll need some baking soda, some vinegar, some food coloring, and a sandcastle mold. Last night, I mixed some baking soda and water together, filled up this sandcastle mold, and then froze it overnight. And so now we have our own castle. To make this melt, you're going to need some vinegar. I put a little bit of food coloring in mine to make it blue, just to be fun. You will also need something like a bowl or a tub, because this one gets a little messy. So make sure your grown-ups helps you with this. All right, we are going to take our baking soda castle. It looks a lot like snow, don't you think? And we are going to add our vinegar. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Whoa! Do you see? It's bubbling and it's melting. Whoa! The vinegar and the baking soda are having a chemical reaction, and that's why it's turning all foamy and disappearing. Wow! That was so cool. We might not be able to build a magical snow and ice castle, but we can melt one. Okay, I'm going to clean up, and then we are going to read our first story. Welcome back. We are going to be reading, Do You Want to Build a Snowman? I know I always want to build a snowman. Do you want to help me build a snowman while we read this book? Great, let's go. Do you want to build a snowman? Me too. But first, we'll need some snow. Can you tap your fingers and I'll turn the page and we can see what happens. Tap, 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 tap. Not bad, but I think we need some more snow, don't you? Okay, let's shake and see if we can get some more snow going. Yikes! That's a lot of snow. I remember this. This was a lot of fun. I am very good at snowball fights. Okay, I think that's enough snow. Let's take a deep breath and blow to see if we can make it stop snowing. Oops, that just made it snow harder. Let's try this. Clap your hands 4 times. That should stop the snow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whew, you did it. Thank you. Now it's time to build our snowman. First, we need to gather a big pile of snow. Let's swipe our hands across the page to try to build a big pile of snow. Great! Let's start working on our snowman. I think he needs legs first. We saw some snowballs around here. Where could they be? Let's try knocking on the tree trunk twice. Can you knock? Can you pretend to knock on that tree trunk? Oh, that's where the snowballs ran off to. Let's draw an X over there on that big pile of snow so they know where to go. Do these look familiar to you? Let's draw our X. That's right. They're Olaf's legs. But, where's the rest of Olaf? Let's put Olaf together again. It's time for some real magic. Are you ready? Let's shake up and down a couple times and see. Well, there's Olaf's bottom, but it's in the wrong place. Let's get it to where it belongs by tapping twice over Olaf's legs. 1, 2. Did you tap? Good. Wonderful. Now we need a snowball for his top. Let's spin around a couple of times until we are all right side up. Can you turn around? I'm going to turn the book around. Let's see here. Around and around. That should get a snowball going. Oh look! Olaf is almost all here. But what's missing? That's right, his head. Take your thumb and point to where you think his head should be. Fantastic! See that tree over there? Use your hands to chop down those 2 branches. Those can be Olaf's arms. Are you ready? Chop, chop. He needs them for his warm hugs. Now Olaf needs some buttons. Let's poke holes for him on the front. Can you take your finger and go poke, poke, poke? Terrific! Now all that's missing is Olaf's nose. What is Olaf's nose made out of? A carrot, that's right. Olaf says, it's so chilly I can't feel my nose. But, where is that carrot? Look over there. That's Olaf's nose. All right, we're gonna pretend to pull it. Can we pull gently? We'll help. Here we go. Pull. Let's see. Oh, Olaf's nose has a reindeer attached to it. Let's pull harder this time. Here we go. Do you think we got it? Yes, that did the trick. Let's ask Finn to help. Let's all say please together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Please, please, Finn, give Olaf his nose. Hooray! You did an amazing job. Olaf has excellent manners, and so do you and I. We're all going to say, you're welcome together, once Olaf says thanks. Thank you. Here we go. You're welcome. Now, let's go play in the snow. Best day ever. You did a great job reading that book, friends. Okay, it's time for a little more science. Are you ready? I'm gonna go get my stuff. We're back. So now we are going to try to make a snowstorm in a jar. For this experiment, you'll need a clear glass or bottle. It just is important that you can see through it. We've got some baby oil. This is some warm water mixed with paint and an Alka-Seltzer tablet. Okay, so you probably remember when my sister Elsa was just learning about her powers, she created a snowstorm that froze all of the summer. She's a stinker. So we are going to create our own snowstorm in this jar. So as I mentioned a second ago, we have filled this jar with some baby oil, and I have my warm water with a little bit, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit of paint, and we're going to pour them into the same jar. Okay. So you can see all of our water with the paint sank down to the very bottom. That's because the oil and the water don't mix. When I added the paint to the water, I was able to stir it up and they mixed together so that they wouldn't separate. But oil and water will not mix. Now here's the exciting part. We're going to take our Alka-Seltzer tablet and we're going to break it into small pieces. And we're going to try dropping one of those pieces in. Let's see what happens. The water is starting to bubble because of the reaction with the Alka-Seltzer tablet. And then little drops of the water are floating up through the oil, so it looks like there's a snowstorm. If you've ever heard of a lava lamp, that's how these work too. The more Alka-Seltzer you add, the more snow it forms. Wow! You can also use different colors or food coloring in your water if you want to have a different kind of snowstorm. And then you can wait until all of the Alka-Seltzer is finished reacting and it will settle and separate again, and you can start over and make a new snowstorm. Looks like we're getting a blizzard in there. There's a lot of snow. All right, I think it's time to read our next book. You probably know I love snowmen. So we are going to read Snowman at Halloween because I also really like Halloween. One autumn day, the air turned cold and it began to snow. We went outside and made some snowmen standing in a row. My sister had a box of dress-ups out for Halloween, and soon all those snowmen were the scariest we'd ever seen. We went off to a party and trick-or-treating too, then headed home in the dark when everything was through. As we passed our snowmen, I thought I saw one wink. Did they want to have fun too? Well, this is what I think. It's a dark and spooky night, but the snowmen aren't afraid. They'll follow one another in a Halloween parade. Do you see all their different costumes? That one's a witch. That one's a vampire. Oh, there's a cowboy. Gliding down the moonlit streets into the village square, beckoned by the twinkling lights and lanterns hanging there. They'll see lots of orange pumpkins heaped up in a pile. Every snowman gets to carve a very scary smile. Do you like to carve pumpkins? I do. It's all messy and gooey and fun. They'll like playing all the games and fishing for a prize and have their faces painted by an artist in disguise. What are you going to dress up for Halloween as? Have you decided? Some bite into caramel treats, which give them gooey grins. Other bobs for apple in the apple bobbing bins. Apples. They're almost as good as chocolate. For a coin, the fortune teller sees a snowman's fate. Will it be warm sun or a snowstorm they'll anticipate? Olaf really loves summer, but I think most snowmen prefer the snowstorm. Maybe they will wander through a maze made out of hay. Twisting turns and dead ends make it fun to find the way. Someone will be telling tales about a snowman's ghost. I'll bet spooky stories is what snowmen like the most. Do you like spooky stories? We have a lot of fun ones in the library. If their Halloween's like mine, they'll want to trick or treat and head home with their buckets full of every kind of sweet. Chocolate. There'll be a lot of giggling on their way back home from town, and will take a while before these snowmen settle down. Are they being silly? That's what I thought they'd do, but I guess we'll never know because it's warmed up overnight and melted all the snow. They don't have their own personal flurries like Olaf does. The dress-ups are in piles, but there's something in between. A snowman message just for us. Happy Halloween. Excellent. Okay, we have one more science experiment to do. Let's get it ready. All right, I'm ready. I have a sensory bin here. It's just a plastic tub. Any tub will work. And I filled it with a box of baking soda that I left in the freezer overnight, so it's nice and cold. I also have a can of shaving cream, and we're going to be making some fun sensory snow. This one's very easy. You're going to take your shaving cream, make sure you shake it up nice and good. We're going to add some shaving cream to our baking soda. Perfect. And we're going to mix it up. This one's so fun because we can get very messy. I'm going to add a little bit more shaving cream. It's more of a guess and check kind of thing. Do you like getting messy? Science is frequently messy, I found. Okay, once we mix it up together, we have sensory snow. The more shaving cream you add, the better it will stick together. You can sit there and you can mold it into a snowball, but don't throw it at your brothers or sisters though, at least not inside. You don't want to make that big of a mess. We can make our own snowman. Let's see. It feels awesome. You can make snowmen by stacking snowballs on top of each other. And then, because this is baking soda like we used in our very first science experiment, once you're done playing with all of your fun fake snow, you can pour some vinegar over it and it will bubble and fizz just like the castle that we made in the beginning. This is a nice, easy way to play with snow when it's hot outside or when you just don't want to go out into the cold. Okay, friends, thank you so much for coming to Science and Stories with me. I hope you have an awesome rest of the day and enjoy the great GeekFest. Bye.